This side is good. Oh, Paul. Hello, sir. What are you doing?
Go through the door. Yeah?
Yeah, boy.
So we put the S4 B5 on the ramp. I think it was like 3-4 years since the last time it was on the ramp. And I must say it looked much better over the years. And what we will see right now, it's actually a very sad condition. And I'm shocked as well, because I was hoping that it will be better. Of course, we are still getting through the process. We'll show you the parts in a minute, what we're actually gonna change, what we're gonna do. I have to make some other decisions, like if it's savable or we have to replace it, what we're gonna do with it, because there's always a certain point what we're saving and what we're replacing. And I believe 90% of this car, what you're gonna see now, is a question of should we replace it or should we repair it? So sit down and have a look at this. Oi, oi, oi. This is my S4 B5. Well, I couldn't... It's not anymore. It is in really sad condition. Like, okay, subframe, obviously there is rust, maybe doable. I think if you're gonna take it for powder coating, I will be checking like how bad it is. So if I can't pinch a hole with a screwdriver through all these bits, we're just probably just gonna get it powder coated and it should be fine. All the brakes are fully seized, like they're not turning at all, so we need completely new brakes. I'm thinking of B9, S4, S5 calipers as a replacement with the bigger disc and everything. So that is just like what I'm thinking. This is a problem. That is a really big problem, because that is a pipe, a high pressure pipe. So you can't get it anymore. It's obsolete. We have to find a way how to sort it out. Things like the bar and stuff, that's not a problem really. Somebody put a new drop link, it looks still shiny. And yeah, generally dry shafts. I think the shaft as it is fine. If I can get the CV joints like good quality, why not? We can replace them and just get it powder coated as well and everything. So again, question of do it and how to do it. Brake lines from a certain point look good. However, we will get to a certain point where they don't really look good. And the whole hub and everything, wow. I don't remember the car like this. I don't remember it like this. Whoop. Yeah, brake line. Not much left. So yeah, it's completely obsolete. You can't get a new line. So we have to find someone who will make them for us, or we have to find a solution how to actually do it. Rear subframe, wow, that is really sad. Like everything is rotten. This used to be a height sensor or something like that, completely rotten. That used to be new shocks, completely rotten, gone, see you later. This is very, very crunchy, hear it? Crunchy, 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 crunchy. And I have more crunchy things coming your way. Up, up, up. This is completely broken. That is not holding at all, guys. That is gone. Tires, one to a complete bolt tire. This tire was sitting for a while, so it's a bit of a cracky. But yeah, the only good thing about the car is the exhaust probably. And even over there, because it was too low, it's like not really good. So yeah, fuel lines, small details, fuel filter, small details. Everything is absolutely in a sad condition, like really sad condition. So I was even thinking for a while, like, should I get another car? Should I get another chassis? What should we do? But this is what we have to be working with. And I know it looks terrifying, but we're gonna try to sort it out somehow. Ideally, worst comes to worst, we're just gonna get a rear subframe. I did see a few on eBay, but again, it's more money. I already spent a bit of money on stuff what I wanna show you. But I think, well, we have to strip it down anyways. Yeah, there's no point be doing discussions what's good, what's not good before we strip it down, because even the engine is sad, you know. Look, it's leaking oil, everywhere. The turbos, look. The condition of the whole thing is just absolutely shocking. But yeah, I already bought the stuff. I'm gonna show you what I've got here, what's the plan, what are the hopes for the power output. So I'm gonna bring everything on the table and I'm gonna show you what we have so far. So the first thing, not the most important thing, but still, we have a Mamba turbos. So some people saying it's from China, I think, but it's actually from Taiwan, which is not far from there. But I was looking for the turbos even from TT. They only do the KO4 Extreme Hybrid turbo, which is like for 1000 bhp. I couldn't find anything more better for the money actually, and we end up with this. So I think for 1500 American dollars we have KO4 hybrids, both turbos with loads of accessories. We also have spare springs with all sort of different strength, and it's a billet turbine, it's a ball bearing turbo, and it's a hybrid. So I think the quality of the turbo looks good, everything seems to be fine. We did have one turbo on the 1.8. I was looking on the reviews, there's loads of people in America with the S4s running these turbos with no issues. So they're saying it should be capable to do 550 to 600 bhp. Realistically, if we will get about 520-ish, I'll be quite happy with the setup, and we will see how it's gonna go, because again, tuning will be questionable. I would really like to use Janči from Profit Tuning again, who did the R6, and ideally I would like to have it again very smooth. I don't like the turbo hill on low RPM, so we will see. Next up, I will show you the clutch with the flywheel. So we have a PTB Racing. I believe this is a company from Austria, if I'm correct, maybe Germany, I'm not sure. But it was purchased from a TT website, and this is the product. So if you have a closer look, it is quite a big piece, and I must say how they done the finish, it looks really nice and clean, so I think the quality is really nice. This is of course a double clutch, so that means there are 2 clutches and 2 pressure plates, and it's a single mass flywheel actually. If you have a look inside there, there's 1 clutch and there's a second clutch, and between you have 1 more pressure plate. So the reason why I decided to go for this setup with those turbos, let's say if you're gonna do that 500 plus bhp, the Newton meters I believe can be around 650, 700. I was looking for a performance clutch from Sachs. It was more money, it was a single clutch kit, and it couldn't handle more than 600 Newton meters. So from the experience what we have from the Cupra and other manual cars, what we did, they just don't really handle the Newton meters which the manufacturer prescribed. So this was an option for 1500 euros, I believe, which was the money-wise and performance-wise best option I couldn't get. I know it's a single mass, so unfortunately the comfort zone will be moved away, but they also are saying that you shouldn't really have a hard clutch pedal, which I'm hoping we will not have, because that will be for any daily driven distances not really comfortable. So this is the clutch what we have. Next up, I'm gonna show you the pistons what we gotta put in there. So we decide to go for Vostar pistons again. We are using them for the B9 platform. I also use them for my RS6 and some other cars, so I can't complain so far, no issues. We are using standard size pistons, so it's 81 millimeter. The whole kit comes with the wrist pin, piston rings and everything. As usual, the oil ring on these is absolutely mental huge compared to the stock one. And also the quality of the piston is very nice. So you can see that it looks really cool. I believe this should be a tiny bit lighter compared to the stock ones. So the plan is, why I want to strip it down and proceed with the work. We have to be sending everything to the machine shop. I want to have the crankshaft balance with the new rods and the pistons. Conrods, we will get them from Bartek. Again, H-beam, which is not stronger, especially for the build. The biggest issue or the weakest point of the engine is or are the Conrods. So that's why we are upgrading everything. Hopefully it will be lasting much longer, like as a stock engine. And I can't wait to fit them, but we are very far away from that. Also, we have an arrow on the piston. Don't know why they put it on there, because this is actually a 5-valve engine, which means the middle intake valve is going out. They've done a cut on the piston, but I'm looking at it, and either way you're gonna put it, like even the genuine one have a cut, it doesn't really make difference, but yeah, they've done it. But never mind. Okay, it's cool. Next up, I'll show you some other stuff what I actually purchased for it. So next up, we have a bracket, what I showed you on the car, completely rotten to hell. So this is actually a bracket for a shock absorber and the coil spring, and the whole thing will mount on the chassis. So the one which are on the car are completely rusty, and this whole thing actually have a hole from the side, and the shock absorber is moving up and down quite excessively, which is not good. I bought these from Amazon. I believe it will be some kind of a Chinese stuff, but we pay for a pair with bolts and everything like £150, which is not much. It's gonna do the job. I can't get them new because they're obsolete, so the only way, I'm actually happy somebody's making a big piece of metal like this and it's not expensive. Next up, big box coming. Big box! Woo. So the big box is here. Big box of loads of things. So first thing, real carbon fiber. So this is an air duct for a Wagner tuning intercooler, which is a must-have. What we find out from the RS6, because if you have high temperatures, it will literally be cutting the pre-ignition and timing and everything, which is not good for your engine. So I bought, I think, the last kit from Awesome GTI, I believe, as the whole Wagner tuning kit. They didn't give me any discount, unfortunately, but it was the best option to actually go ahead with it. Mr. Wagner tuning intercooler. So it's not bigger when it comes to this size, but it's much thicker. So I'm not sure by how many percent, but I believe it's even 50% bigger than the one which is on the car already. So if we will have the big turbos, we have to cool them down. Of course, I will be installing water methanol injection as well, just to keep it cool for any extreme situation on the racetrack or whatever. And I think for the power output, upgrade these babies is a must-have. So we have them here, but like I mentioned, we are very far away from that step to be installed. Also, we have loads of pipes and hoses already here, and of course timing belt kit, because that is the base thing. So 1 mile long belt with all the tensioners, idle pulleys, and also the grenade tensioner. So I'll be also replacing the tensioner on the chains, which is in between the cams, because of the plastic guide, which is quite common to fail at this mileage and age. So I want to build the engine up like fully, so we put it in the car and hopefully it will do tens of thousands of miles, hopefully on the racetrack as well. So yeah, and from the suspension, the only new thing what we have here are these sway bars from HR, front and rear. So again, they brand new, much thicker than the original ones. It should improve the handling of the car. So yeah, another project coming up. I will probably do it like the RS6 very quickly and with no brain in my head, because if you start thinking about stuff, it's not good. So the plan is strip it fully down to a bare chassis, engine with the gearbox is coming out, front suspension, rear suspension, fuel tank and everything. Strip the engine completely down, whatever needs to be sent for powder coating, we'll go for powder coating. We also do have the new bushings here for the rear suspension, and loads of things that I have to order and find and check, like the lines from the gearbox. We have to find a solution for that. And yeah, it will be interesting, but I want to crack on with it because it will be never ever done. The car was sitting out for 4 or 5 years. I didn't drive it like at all. And I think the time has come because even by today, it's a problem to get the parts for it. And I believe how the years we go again and again and again, we will have even more problems to get whatever we need for it. So this is probably the last chance, the last opportunity to do an S4 B5 into a condition so it's drivable sort of on the road. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So that is everything from this video. The sad condition of the S4 which was standing outside on the rain, and yeah, it's actually really sad. But yeah, in the next video we'll be stripping it fully down, so we'll give you an update in the next video, guys. Thank you for watching. Next project coming up. See you in the next video. See ya. Crunchy. There's obvious metal missing. This is a common fault on them actually.